Hello everybody, this is Danny from Deep South Homestead. We have our potatoes over here that we dug. We got close to 600 pounds of them. They've cured, been out of the sun, cured out here, out of the weather. It is now time to get them to the cellar, but our old potato racks are not in the best of condition. So a subscriber got us a bunch of older bread trays that were about 3 to 4 inches deep. That's fantastic for what we need. Now, I'm not going to be able to get all my potatoes in it, but I'll be able to get a pretty good bit of them. But I don't want them just sitting right down on the floor. I like them to be about 16 inches off the floor, 18 inches. So what I'm planning on doing is building a platform for these bread trays to sit on. Now, I had a bunch of scrap lumber laid around. I mean, it ain't got to be the prettiest looking thing in the world. For the legs, we get these pieces of wood in. Now, these was like 3 feet long originally, or 39 inches or 40, something close to that. They got a groove cut in them where they put the banding on it when they brought my metal roofing here. We don't throw anything away, so I kept them. So what I did was cut these for the legs because they're about, I don't know, they're close to 3 inches by 3 inches. And that'll make a good sturdy little leg to go under it. So I've cut 4 of them, 18 inches long. And I've cut my boards to the dimension, the exact dimension of my bread tray. So what I'm going to do is, as soon as this is built, I'm going to rip me some strips down about 2 inches wide. And I'm going to screw them all the way around the edges, let them stick up about 3/4 to an inch. And that way, once I set my trays down in it, they can't slide off of this stand. They'll be permanently stuck there, and it'll all the other trays just lock inside each other, so I don't have to worry about them moving. And we'll be able to stack a pretty good bit of Irish potatoes up in these things. So we're going to get busy screwing this thing together right now and see if we can't get us a stand built that'll be sustainable to hold our potatoes. Now we're using the 3-inch deck screws to put this together with. Okay guys, we've got it built, and I know y'all probably think I put a lot of screws in it, but I did, because potatoes are very heavy, and I don't want anything tampering with that. And it's a little bit out. I don't know if it's the forge or if it's the fact that it's not sitting perfectly level. I may just trim one of the legs off just a little bit right there. It might be a touch long. We'll be ready to come back and screw our little sides on here next, around the edges of it, and then set our trays down in it. And we're good to go to put our potatoes in the cellar. Okay guys, I've ripped some pieces of wafer board, 2.5 inches wide. I'm leaving an inch sticking up. I've done put 2 on these sides here. Now we're going to nail these up. ahead and pre-start me a couple of nails here. Make it a whole lot easier. Bring the other side up level. If the nails come through the other side, you know, we're using number 8 nails, so they're a little bit longer. They're going to come through, but that's okay. Bend them over. There we have it, guys. We got an inside lip now. Our bread tray should sit right down inside this. We are ready to head to the cellar and get it put in the cellar and get our trays start stacking. We're going to start gathering our potatoes and taking them over and filling them up one tray at a time and see just how many potatoes we can actually stack on this thing. Guys, we're going to separate the potatoes out now to take them down to the cellar. We're going to put the very biggest ones in a bucket to go to the house to be cooked and first, but the average size ones, now I say average, it's about like these. Those are the size we're going to take to the cellar, and smaller like this. Those are the size that seems to keep the longest here. But now anything that's like that one's going to go to be taken in the house. We're not going to take anything like that to the cellar. We're going to go through them now. And, oh, there's a damaged one. So we need a bucket for damaged ones, I reckon. Those are the ones that will be eaten first. And anything like these old big ones here, they go into the house. And these like this, these are going to be the ones that we're going to be canning. Because we can quarter them up and they can really, they cook fast. They can really good. So we're going to have a bucket specifically for canning potatoes. Okay guys, we got the stand built here. These are our old bread trays that we've got from a subscriber. We've got the lip made on this thing. We're going to set it down in here. That way it can't slide off in any direction. So it's sitting in there. Now we're going to fill this thing with potatoes. Now we're not going to put too many potatoes in it because we don't want them just piled on top of one another, but we get airflow from the bottom and all around them, so hopefully they'll keep a lot better in these trays. Okay guys, this is one 5-gallon bucket filled up one tray. That's kind of what we had anticipated. You don't want them piled all over each other. You want them just beside each other. And we learned if we take our potatoes and stand them up on their ends, we can get a few more potatoes in there. I might try to put a couple more in here. I've got some over here I'll move around. But that's helped us to get our whole 5-gallon bucket in here. Now we're going to set another tray on top of it. And I'm sure there's a way for these things to go. I just didn't pay any attention to see. There we go. Now, we're going to load up another 5-gallon bucket on this one. And that's why I built this thing so sturdy, is because one of them buckets weighs about 30 pounds. And if you stack 8 of these up, that's a lot of weight sitting on something down here. So that's the reason I built it sturdy. So we're going to move us another bucket in here. And guys, the more you handle these potatoes, the more damage you do to them. So that's the reason I'm just taking my time. I'm not just dumping them out and pouring them because I don't want to bruise them up and cause them to deteriorate any quicker than they normally would. And when you're putting potatoes down here for storage, be mindful of the potatoes. Look at them real close. When we were packaging them up to come down here, we looked at the whole potato really good. If it had places on it, we didn't bring it. I mean, we looked at every potato, and I'm sure there's something will be missed, but that's why, like right there, that one there was stuck with the fork. We missed it a while ago. So that's why you take your time and check them a second time, because as close as we was watching, we still had one slip through here. Time spent here will ensure that your potatoes last a lot longer. If you get in a hurry, it's just like anything else. If you do stuff in a hurry, it ends up costing you in the long run. That one didn't have no business now. Okay, we've got our 4 or 5 gallon buckets up here and still got some space left, so I'm getting a little bit more than a 5 gallon bucket in each one of them. If I take my time, stand the potatoes on their ends and instead of letting them lay down a long ways, I'm getting more potatoes on a rack. So we've got 4 more to stack on top of here. If you hear a noise in the background, we have a dehumidifier running in here because potatoes need about a 50% humidity. And we came in here and it was 75%, so we've got the dehumidifier on. We brought it down to 62 right now, and we're going to leave it running so we can get it down to even lower than 50. So because the humidity is constantly coming in here through the air vents, so that's what you hear running in the background. If it's overriding me, I apologize. But we're going to go ahead and try to, over the next few days, get the rest of the trays stacked in here, get our potatoes in here, and try to keep them at a 50% humidity to try to see if that will help us extend the life of our potatoes in our cellar underground here. So, hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you from Deep South Homestead.